Every now and again we find a car at a show that just really grabs our attention, and this Escort is one such car. It's a 1600 Sport, or should I actually say a 1600 Sport, because it's actually South African, and that's what they called them over there. Lots of these have come over here. They're very popular for a couple of reasons. Obviously rust is one of them, but we'll see there's some other reasons as well. So we'll get into the story of this car and Raymond, the lovely owner. So this one's a 1600 Sport. It's kind of a mild sporty version. It's got the same engine from the factory as the Mark 1 Escort Mexico. I think they did a Mexico in the Mark II shape as well. It was your top model in South Africa, production running from 1975 until 1980, and this was built in that final year. But the body shells were actually made up in Halewood in Liverpool and then shipped out complete for the final build to be done over there. But obviously when it comes to sporty Fords, your 1600 Sport looked quite quick but really wasn't. Fairly brisk back in the day. You got the RS 2000 with a famous droop snoot, is one people go crazy about, or was the homologation special, the RS 1800 with a Cosworth BDA engine. But from the factory this had a 1.6 Kent engine, a cross-flow version of the Kent engine, and we should probably take a look at that next. The big reveal then is yeah, not entirely stock. We've got a Burton Power tuned engine. We've got this beautiful Simpson race exhausts, 4-branch manifold, absolutely gorgeous. Very remote brake servos over here. But the key thing on the South African built Escorts is they have the reinforced strut tops of the RS models here in the UK. So the export models had the beefier body shell from factory, but just look at the paint. Raymond's had this car painted and it's just absolutely gorgeous. It was always black, but it looks absolutely incredible now, and lovely condition. Nice very open air filter for plenty of induction noise. This beautifully crafted radiator, Samco hoses. I mean the coloured hoses probably won't be to all tastes, but I think Raymond very much does what he wants, and well done Raymond, say we. It's absolutely spotless in here though, immaculate. And of course you've got to have the big old driving lamps on the front of your sporty Ford. Probably not factory, but it just looks the part. It's what sporty Fords should look like. Raymond's also got some LED headlamps by the look of it, and the obligatory mini lights wrapped in some lovely Yokohama rubber. It's got a Ford Sierra 5-speed gearbox and a limited slip diff. Obviously you've got to have your big boot spoiler, and in here a good amount of space. We've got a full-size spare wheel tucked away, and we've got all of Raymond's important show essentials. You've got to have a cloth for drying the car off. We saw this at Pembrokeshire Classic Car Show where the weather was terrible. He still bought it out anyway, fair play to him. Chair and everything to sit down, but a good amount of space back there for its time. So I've got a copy of Practical Classics because there it is, because they came on a tour of Wales. In fact, took the other cars in that episode as well. That is, which one is that? Spring 2026. They came on a Welsh adventure and came to see this car amongst many others. But obviously Raymond's got a few photos, so let me just find the ones. So here's what the car looked like originally. There's Raymond at the show looking proud as punch with his newly finished car, and here's how it started off. So the graphics were all actually silver. It looks like a bit of red beading around the headlamps originally, but Raymond had the car completely stripped down, complete bare metal restoration, huge amount of work, and then built up with the new paint and the new wheels. So yeah, that's kind of what it looks like now, to be fair. So beautifully done. It is a lovely example. Lots of little personal touches here and there, but I know won't be to all taste. Not everyone will like the gold trim, but I think if you've got a theme, stick with it. It's screaming John Player Specials to me. Very 1970s cigarette brand. So sitting here at the wheel, these lovely seats. He's had the whole interior retrimmed in leather, so it's just absolutely lovely, very nicely done, but very supportive seats. The classic fishnet Recaro head restraints, lovely RS steering wheel, indicators left, and little switch panel here for the front spots, reverse light and the fog light. Hazards dustly operated, but yeah, very minimalist. There is a little glove box down here. Even the glove box has got its own little leather cover by the look of it. Absolutely incredible.
Oh, it's got a flyer for the Cardi Crank Show.
Oh yes, and the Pembrokeshire Classic Car Club sticker there. But yeah, Aberairon Vintage Show is on the 6th or 12th of August.
It's in August.
It's in August in Aberairon, and it's absolutely amazing. Do come along. Gearbox, it is Ford, but it is not Mark II Escort. It is Ford Sierra, the legendary MT75, fitted to an awful lot of kit cars and upgraded to a lot of classics, including our friend Tim at Cambrian Classics just sold his MGB with a lovely Ford Sierra gearbox. So reverse is next to first gear, you have to push it down to access it. But yeah, I've not spent much time in Mark IIs. We've got a little choke control over here, manual. We've got the fresh air vents, very 1970s. Even your minis would have had these sort of fresh air vents, which you can twizzle and move around to various points. We've got heater switch gear over here. It's just very minimalist, isn't it? But again, leather dash top, very nice. We should probably go for a drive though, I guess, because that is kind of why we're here. The business then. Oh, sounds potent. Windscreen wiper test. He's actually got washers on the blades. Look how cool that is. But there is a very slight triangle of doom, but I don't think this car's going to be coming out in the rain all that often, Pembrokeshire permitting. So clutch down, fairly heavy clutch, but look at the I must have a quick shift on it, this gearbox. Very short, precise action on it, but I shall resist doing donuts because it's got a limited slip diff, so it will definitely do donuts. But oh, you can't do that with the gravel and the paint. Oh, gives me horrors. Now unfortunately we're in a 20 at the moment, I think, so we can't nail it immediately, but yeah, it does make a fair bit of noise. Feels very firm, presumably some modifications to the suspension to just sport it up a bit as well. But yeah, if we let her rip, it's only a 40 limit, folks. Yeah, it just sounds lovely. It's a really creamy, smooth sound, very carefully created, curated, if you like. I think just sounds really purposeful. You got the K&N induction sound, the sports headers, and yeah, it sounds a very purposeful exhaust. But this is what Ford's about. You could do so much to them. Almost what came out the factory was your starting point, and even today there is still so much because they're used so extensively in rallying. There's still loads of them, and they've got sequential gearboxes and all sorts going on. So it is definitely one of the most iconic cars that could be your just bread and butter 1.3L, 1 litre in Italy. You could get true poverty there. Or you've got the fire-breathing rally cars, the sort of cars Harry Vatanen was flinging around the forests on the World Rally Championship before Audi came and rather ruined their fun. It's yeah, just incredible. But this one is so very lovely. I mean, even in here the paintwork is absolutely impeccable. The leather interior, just something a bit more special. Oh yeah. Very close ratio gearbox, I think. But then it settles down, becomes quite peaceful. Might be a slight wheel wobble going on, possibly a weight on the front wheels, but it doesn't detract massively. Oh, you just want faster roads. You just want to send it down a gravel track through a forest somewhere. But Raymond will probably prefer we don't. But that is the heritage behind these cars. It's why they are so very collectible, and I think that's probably why we're seeing so many of these South African cars over here now. They were built in Port Elizabeth in South Africa, and like I say, the body shells shipped over and then the final build done over there. But Mark II Escorts were built all over Australia, New Zealand, and my favourite Mark II fact is if you look at the estates and the vans, they've still got the body of a Mark I. They only changed the front end and the interior. Oh, I'll get it on cam, there we go. Yeah, it's not riotously quick, it has to be said, but it just makes all the right noises. There's people following me in modern Euro boxes going just as quickly, but they're not having the fun I'm having. The loud pedal is very loud. Yeah, the steering's really nice, quite nice and direct, obviously not power assisted, but nor does it really feel like it needs to be. These weren't particularly heavy cars. This particular car has been in the UK about 9 years, Raymond reckons, but the first 5 years it was just locked away in a container. Literally landed here, landed in a container, and was stored away, which did the interior probably ruined by sunlight. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, as I was saying, interior completely ruined by sunlight and storage, so it's why Raymond had to get it completely retrimmed. He didn't have to get it completely retrimmed in leather, but I think it's a very nice touch. He then sent the car away for paint, and it was some 8 months it was away. But this is the thing with people who do good paint, they're in very, very high demand. But yeah, the finish of it, just absolutely lovely. Raymond had one of these back in the days. I did ask him, did you own one of these when you were younger? He said, oh yes, crashed it, but that's what people did, because it's rear wheel drive, so you can have that level of fun. A level of fun we will not be replicating today, but covers ground well. We're just cruising along 60 mile an hour, that fifth gear, keeping the revs down to about 2,600. Absolutely fine. We're not going to get overtaken by Dutch tourists who don't understand speed limits. But yeah, Raymond and his family got quite a history in motorsport, especially in autograss racing. So I think that's probably why he decided to make a few tweaks to this one. That Burton upgraded engine, and yeah, there's more than a few rally bits and bobs here. Even the washers on the wipers is a bit of a rallying touch. I love it. He's made it very much his own car. Here we go. I love it. 60. Yeah. Your 1.3 popular probably didn't do that. Now that, my friends, is a very enjoyable drive. That is kind of what Mark II Escorts were always about. It's having a lot of fun without having to have insane amounts of power. You don't need to be like single digit tiny 0 to 60 figures. You can have so much fun just going at fairly sensible speeds, really. I will just point out, this is an abandoned road. It goes nowhere, so don't panic. But yeah, huge thanks to Raymond for letting us drive this beautiful car and share it with you folks. So show some love down in the comments. We shall see you in a future video. I've got to drive it again now. What a shame.